Hi, Stevo again, and I know I made a video yesterday, and I kind of came to the conclusion that maybe I'm being selfish, or maybe I'm making these videos for myself. I don't I don't know if too many people are watching these videos, or if one person is watching them, I'm cool. And I'm kind of thinking about the phony patriotism that the Trump turds have. They hide behind the American flag and sometimes behind the American and Confederate flag. And they don't even know what the flag means. And my definition of a real patriot is our forefathers who freed themselves from the British and started an American Revolution and put together laws and the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. I think our forefathers were the real patriots. Yeah, they had slaves. Yeah, they were misogynistic, but they were products of the 18th century. I don't think that the Trump turds are patriotic. I think that they're just people who are afraid of change. They're afraid of modernity. They're afraid of progress. And they're not patriots, you know. And to call them patriots, or they call themselves patriots, let's call it what it is, what it is. People who are afraid of change. And our forefathers are always hiding behind the Bible. And like I've said before, I'm an atheist. And I know more about the Bible than these Trump turds do. And it says in the Bible to love somebody. It says in the Bible to help the poor, to feed the poor, to love thy neighbor, to judge and ye be judged. And you can't hide behind the Bible and not know those things. You know? You're not loving Mexicans. You're not loving Muslims. You're not loving African Americans or gay or lesbian people. You know, you're only choosing who you love, and that's the Trump turds. So they're not religious and they're not patriots. They're phonies, just like Donald Trump is a phony. And I hope that majority of the American people can send these Trump turds home. So I guess these are kind of notes from underground in my case. And it's kind of, in a way, it's therapy for me, because this is the worst year in recent memory. I don't know if you can compare it to the 1968, the year I was born. In 1968, we had the Vietnam War, the assassination of Martin Luther King and of RFK and so on. You know, unrest and with the anti-war movement and so on. So, you know, the tragedy in Chicago and the Democratic Chicago, the DNC in 1968. So I don't think anything compares to 1968, but I think in a way it feels like 1968, but it really isn't 1968. And you know, the unique thing about bad times, the Depression in the 60s, is it does bring people together. Bad times do bring people together. And I think it's important to vote, and maybe that's why I'm using this as notes from underground in many ways, is to remind myself to vote in November 3rd. I did vote for Bernie Sanders in January of this year. And I will vote in November 3rd. And maybe it's just notes from underground. Maybe it's just, I feel a lot better that after I do a video. Again, I'm an older guy, so I didn't have that type of opportunity when I was a young man to be on YouTube or Twitter. And I'm not doing this to make money, and I'm not doing this to pick up chicks or anything like that. I'm doing this because I've always felt that I should be responsible. Even when I was politically active, I always felt that I should be a responsible citizen. And I think with these videos, and even if one person sees these videos, I'm cool with it. It makes me feel like a responsible American citizen. If I can get people to vote, and I think there are either 17 million or 7 million people that voted already. I apologize if I got that statistic wrong, but I guess there are 7 million people that already voted in this country. So people are standing in line in Georgia and the Carolinas, and I'm very proud of them. And I'm very proud of you if you vote. And I'm very proud of you if you already voted. We need to get rid of Donald Trump. And I know Joe Biden is no John Kennedy or FDR, but this government has been corrupt for many years. And it's going to take people with courage to run for office under the progressive ticket and other alternative political tickets to have enough politicians to be a legitimate party, and to get rid of these corporate Republicans and these corporate Democrats. And I think that's what we need to do. We need to get rid of these corporate Republicans and these corporate Democrats to maintain this republic. We got to do that. And it's going to take a fight, and it's going to take many years. It's not going to be in my lifetime, and it's not going to be in the millennials' lifetime. We are in so much debt, we're in $1 trillion debt. We give money to the rich all the time. We give money to banks. We give money to corporate farmers. We give money to people that we shouldn't be giving money to. But very rarely we give money to the poor, to working class people that live in the suburbs who are struggling. But I think it's going to take many years to maintain the what our forefathers intended it to be. Now, if you believe in the Constitution, if you've read it, if you read the Constitution and you believe in it, then you fight for it. I'm not saying physically fight for it, but you put together parties that are alternatives to the Democrat and the Republican parties. And maybe one of these days those parties will be legitimate parties. There have been a lot of people that ran for office because they hate Donald Trump. There have been a lot of people that are run under the progressive ticket between 2016 and 2020. They ran for office not really thinking that they would win or anything, because they hate Donald Trump. Because Donald Trump does not follow the law, and he doesn't follow the Constitution. Like I said before, he's a different politician. He's a different president than we've ever had. And I think this is very important to be active in your community and to sit down and talk with your loved ones, and if you can't talk with them face to face, talk to them on virtual, like I'm talking to you on computer. And again, I come from a different generation. We didn't have those things. It's kind of easier to talk to people on computer and virtual than it was in my generation. So it's pretty easy to get people together by talking to them on computer. And now that we have COVID, it's probably easier to get people organized, on computer. We have rights in this country. And we do have laws, and we do have the Constitution. And let's vote and make sure that these Trump turds go home. And hopefully we'll never see a Trump turd on YouTube or on Twitter or on Facebook ever again. Because the majority of the people in America, they don't watch Fox News. The majority of the people in America do not listen to Rush Limbaugh or read Breitbart. The majority of the people in America are good people. They were raised right. They were raised right to do the right thing. And I know that Trump is going to cheat, but let's come together as a nation and make sure that Trump doesn't fulfill a second term as president. Because Trump is a bully. Trump is he's a con man. We are the people. And let's call if you have any politicians that you know of, or their phone numbers or whatever, talk to them and ask them, is anyone in Washington, D.C. keeping an eye on Trump if he cheats? If he's going to do a G.W. Bush, what he did in 2000. Al Gore won the 2000 race between president, and that race was stolen from Al Gore. And the only way that Joe Biden will lose is if Trump cheats. And either way, we're going to have a race riot. If Trump wins or if he loses, we're going to have a race riot. But we're a strong country, and we're a loving country. And I think we could deal with this. And I'm not bullshitting you. I didn't bullshit you about the Michigan militia, and even before the situation with the trying to kidnap the governor. I've read and about the militia, the Michigan militia for many years, and I didn't lie to you about them. And it happened. There are hate groups for Trump that are, if Trump doesn't get his way and if he loses, there's going to be blood in the streets. So let's love one another, and let's vote, and let's get rid of this idiot, and his name is Donald Trump. So I'll see you when I see you.